Coming to you live from a junk room someplace west of Tatooine, it's not necessarily Star Wars news, with your host, the Junkman.
Welcome back, everybody, to Not Necessarily Star Wars News, where we give you not only the best Star Wars news of the week, but the best in news in pop culture, fandom, and more. Let's get right to it. Breaking news. Actor Ewan McGregor says there's no plans for an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. You can find out more about this and other things over at the new Collider video YouTube series, Collider, Shit That Never Happened with Mark Ellis. This week on Twitter, Mark Hamill said that there's plenty of stories to tell about Luke Skywalker that take place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So now, hopefully, we can all get that comic book we all been waiting for. Luke Skywalker versus the Tatooine time-sharing gang. Finally. It's been reported this week that there was plans for a Tatooine movie. I don't know about all you out there, but that's really what I've been looking forward to. A Tatooine origin story. Use that again. A recent rumor hit the internet this week that Adam Driver was seen on the set of Episode 9 working with a female co-star. Of course, the internet blew this up that it had to be Luke Skywalker's wife, Mara Jane. But really, it's probably a man-hating, always right, badly written female character. That one's for you, Last Jedi haters. In a recent poll over at the official Star Wars website, out of 149,000 votes, The Empire Strikes Back was picked as fans' favorite Star Wars movie. What was picked as the worst Star Wars movie of all times? Well, you probably guessed it. Kickster's Diary. It's not that bad. A little violent. And the sad news, this week marks the 10th anniversary of one of the most tragic events in cinema history. In toy news, toy company Funko is going to make He-Man style action figures based on some of the classic 80s horror villains, such as Leatherface, Pinhead, Jason, and more. I don't know about you out there, but that's what I always wanted. A Michael Myers action figure in fuzzy underwear. And in other news, video game giant Nintendo's been targeting websites that post up ROMs of their old classic games and taking them offline. So sorry fans, it's going to be a lot harder to play Mario arm wrestling. In news that I forgot to mention last week, Star Trek's Next Generation actor Patrick Stewart is coming back as Jean-Luc Picard in an upcoming CBS streaming television series. So get ready to be very disappointed, Star Trek fans. It's been reported that Disney has put their foot down. They will not rehire James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, after they discovered that he made some off-color tweets over 10 years ago. Nintendo says they can't work with such a disgusting, evil, bigoted man. However, they will pay him millions of dollars and still use his script. Hypocrites.
It's time for news from the fandom.
And in fandom news, Ruby Rose has been cast as the lead in the upcoming CW show Batwoman. That's right, CW is still around. But why did Ruby Rose have to run off Twitter? Well, the toxic fandom got upset, saying Ruby Rose wasn't gay enough. Let me say that again, she wasn't gay enough. What is gay enough? Does your breath have to constantly smell like poop?
And now it's time for the Junkman to answer viewer mail.
This week's viewer mail comes from Zach Morris, and he writes, Dear Junkman, I haven't spoken to my grandmother since late December when we both saw The Last Jedi. I loved it. However, my grandmother thought it was an awful social justice warring, man-hating, female agenda, character-ruining bore fest. How can I get my grandmother to see that The Last Jedi isn't the worst Star Wars movie ever made? Well, Zach, we have to learn that people see movies differently. You may like something, your grandmother might hate something. You may like the Phantom Menace, I may hate the Phantom Menace. We all see movies differently. But if you can't come to that understanding, show her the 1984 movie Furry Privilege, the Stacy Ewok story. Why can I not say privilege? Privilege.
This has been Answers to Viewer Mail. Please send your questions to Junkman Answers, P.O. Box 2520, Maple Plain, Minnesota 55248. And please, no emails or faxes.
In closing, I don't have really much to add to. I will tell you to go over to Patreon if you want to support this YouTube channel. Or go to StarWarsJunk.net, buy a couple of t-shirts. That helps out also. And don't forget, on Monday, we post up the random vintage Star Wars figure of the week. Wednesday, just a random video. And then Friday, we're back again with not necessarily Star Wars news. So we'll see you next week with a lot more fun.
And that's what happened this week in Star Wars. Join us next Friday for more news from a junk room far, far away.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.